What's
Jason,
going on?
It's like doing a dance.
because it's on camera. It's the sun's coming up. It's warming the atmosphere up. Is what's happening. Those are heat waves, folks. You should have played that song. But Rebel is here, and folks want to tell everybody about All American Exteriors. And your outfit's a little unusual compared to normally you're dressed like an American flag.
Yes. Well, I was letting everybody know that we are actually an Ebola-free company.
Good.
Oh,
We've got the gear.
Good.
That's
There you
perfect.
go.
So
That's
this
good.
actually, I actually
what's the
got
deal
this.
here?
This is outfit that we wear when we're taking lead siding, or when we're redoing windows and the trim has lead and stuff. My guys actually have to wear one of these suits.
Now, how
I
often
bet
do you
that's
run
fun
into
on a
that?
hot
Do you
day.
still have that?
We do. Any house prior to 1978.
Okay.
There's a pretty good chance that it's lead.
paint
But we
is
have to
lead.
test it, and there's procedures that the state has put forward and the federal government has put forward.
Now, is that
we
what
have
happened to
follow.
Lou? Is that?
It could be.
No,
You know,
just the paint chips when I was small. They tasted pretty good.
they
are
taste
good.
sweet, don't
Yeah,
they?
they
Right?
sure do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're sweet.
Yeah, but not a good idea to do that. But you're just being very cautious, and you have the gloves and everything, and the booties, and
Well, I dressed up for Halloween for you.
well, that's good. That's a good costume, though, too. But how often do you guys end up stripping things like this that you think are lead-based?
Probably only about 10% of the jobs we do. It's a very small amount, but anything, like I said, prior to 78 is a good chance. Anything after 78 is pretty sure you're not going to have it.
Okay.
But what it does mean for the state and federal government now, just like if I sold you a firearm, I have to keep records. And so every house that I do, we keep a file, and we take digital pictures of the procedures that went on. We go to the county assessors and we print off the age of the house that it was built. And then if it is lead is present, then I have to give you a pamphlet on lead safe renovation. Tells you all the hazards of breathing and the symptoms and things, and you have to sign off on that. And if I don't have that sign off in your file and they come and audit me 3 years later, and that isn't there, you can come in and testify, yes, he give it to me, and I still could be fined up to $5,000 per occurrence.
They're that serious about it.
Yeah, they're pretty serious.
Wow. Well, you guys are obviously prepared and ready to go and Ebola-free, so we're glad to hear about that as well.
Yeah.
But,
Now, the suit is made out of the same stuff they put up
Yeah,
underneath the
Tyvek,
siding.
Tyvek,
Yeah, I
right.
thought that was pretty cool.
And you know what? Just like a house, this is good. Unlike the Ebola suits that they wear, this is good. This lets you breathe,
Okay.
but it does block
okay.
anything from coming in.
Okay.
You know, it's you don't overheat in it that way.
I need to borrow one of those for the Burr ride in February.
I was going to say, we should get,
Right,
we should get a couple of those.
You know what? It's actually handy to put on. I don't wear a tool belt much at all anymore, but I do put this on sometimes when I'm doing something really dirty.
Okay.
You know, it's really nice because I may be dressed up or what have you, and I need to do something. I can just throw one of these on, and it's light and it breathes, and
Sure.
and they're cheap. You can get them at Amazon.
There you
There you
go.
go. Perfect.
Well, speaking of Burr, we're starting to get into some Burr temperatures outside, so we want to know, what do we need to be looking at our house for before the snow starts falling?
Well, I tell you what, probably the most important thing you need to do is make sure that your house is sealed up. You want to take and anything around your windows and your doors where the caulk cracks and things, you want to stop water from getting in there.
Okay.
So that's the most important thing. Those won't match with that topic, by the way, but these are just showing, what they're showing there on the screen is stone-coated steel roof. And the reason I brought that in is because we do roofing year-round, and people are mindset is, okay, we're coming to the end of roofing season,
Right.
and you are for asphalt. You don't really want to do asphalt once it starts getting down below, 30 degrees. You're not going to thermal bond down, and so then
what is
So when
that-
it gets
what is
too
that-
cold, they don't stick together.
they don't
Is that what
stick
you mean?
together, and the wind can get under and cause blow off. And that's actually stone coated, although the white doesn't show it very well. But with the stone coated steel, because it applies with screws and it's a different type of material, we do that year round. And so I wanted to make everybody know. Now that there is a different type of a steel. That's actually a painted steel. And believe it or not, that house is on a country road down by Winterset. And that's another painted steel there.
That's paint.
Really?
That's painted steel, yes.
How often
yes.
do you have to repaint that then?
Never.
Never.
That has a 50-year warranty. It's the same paint they use on road signs and on UPS trucks. You know, it's a Kynar or a Trinar finish, and so you don't have to worry about it coming off. It's got the UV protections.
All right, now
Wow,
recently I know people are up on their roofs, and they should be up on their roofs now, especially with the leaves falling, making sure the gutters are all cleaned out. And now
Always.
when you're cleaning the gutters out, like I did about 2 weeks ago, before getting the brushes put in there to keep the leaves out of them. Did notice quite a bit of settlement in the bottom of the gutters. Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, that's where your stone coating's coming off, and the more that comes off, the more UV rays can get to the asphalt, which is your true protection. It'll dry out, crack, and
Now,
cause
could
leaking.
that have been from, well, we had 2 different storms this year?
Can be from hail. Hail will knock some off, but more hail usually you won't start seeing the loss for another year or 2
Really?
on the hails, yeah. Because what it does is it knocks them loose, and then they slowly come off. And so a year to 2 years later, then it starts looking really bad, and you go, wonder what happened.
Yeah, now, can you still go out and check to see if there's anything going on with that? Because
Absolutely.
you want to do that before it's too late.
You know, you need to do it. You have 365 days to have that checked, and that's something that needs to be looked at. And you have to have your contractor picked and hired in that 1-year period. Doesn't have to be completed, but you do have to have it hired in that 1-year period. And you know, I will be selling literally up to a month after that, because people will apply for an extension, and some insurance companies, not all, but some insurance companies, you know, will give you an extra extension if you've got bids and they see you're trying, but you're having a difficult time picking somebody. They'll give you up to a 30-day extension.
Now, what do insurance companies cover on things like that? An average. I know you can't, it's not everybody, but what are they? Half the cost, or?
Most insurance companies will pay. Actually, most people make money on asphalt with me. The price we charge for tearing one layer off and going back on for a quality roof system is usually less than what insurance companies pay out. So most people's deductible are covered. I've even had people get free gutter protection because our bid was that much cheaper than what the insurance company paid.
Okay, so when you have a roof done, you probably have to have gutters done too.
Sometimes, you know, that's a preference. You know, sometimes they're not that bad, and people are like, oh, I'm going to live with it. You know, and some people take the money and put a new deck on the house, and then 3 years later they're going, oh crap.
I see what you mean. All right, but this is the time of year. If you want to have something done before the harsh winter gets here, you better
right.
get on
And
the stick.
you nailed it with the gutters, caulking around your windows and doors, and making sure the water isn't getting in. Just do a good inspection around the house, and then make sure your gutters are free and not clogged, so they can do their job and get that water away, because the ice, the snow and the ice, you know, the snow slowly melts, and so you will actually have more problems with water penetrating the house in the next few months than you do in the rainy season. Because the rainy season, it gets out and the sun and wind dries it off. In the wintertime, it just slowly melts and seeps in and penetrates deep, and that's when you start getting your water damage and dry rot.
Okay, and one way we found to clean gutters that's really slick, I'm not sure if you've tried this or have the ability to do so, Jason, besides hiring someone to come up and clean your gutters out, if you could do it safely, your leaf blower does amazing things to gutters. It can clean them out just like that.
You want to wear one of these.
Yeah, and
There you go. Wear one of those.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And for people who want more information, how do they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me at www.allamerican4u.com, or you can go to 515-255-4872.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Nice seeing you. He's got gloves on. I don't. That's
See, you're fine.